from Oklahoma City. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the very funny Cody Freeman!
So, how we doing, everybody? It is a long drive if you don't have a pipe tax. I made it through Oilton, Oklahoma, and did not develop a meth addiction. So, thank you. Shout out my parole officer coming in tonight, keeping tabs on me. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming out, man. You brought the old lady from Courage the Cowardly Dog out with you. Thank you. Santa, you're not fooling it. I'm bad at crowd work, you guys. Happy to be here in Tulsa, man. I didn't realize just driving around, you guys got the most dispensaries and massage parlors per capita I paid. I didn't realize you guys were so relaxed. Happy to be here, man. As you heard, I am from Oklahoma City, so whenever I say I'm happy to be here, I mean it. Everybody. It's boring over there, you know? You know what's not boring? You, Tulsa. Never a dull moment on the streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma, everybody. I was going into Empire Slice House today with a buddy, and we're walking in, and I clock a homeless man's angle of pursuit on us, and I nudged my buddy and started walking faster, and my buddy was like, "Oh no, man, that's just Tom. Hey Tom, how you doing, man?" And then Tom got about 4 inches from our face, and was like, "I should now, tomorrow, ah." And my buddy was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tom," and dapped him up and then held the door open for me like that didn't just fucking happen. You guys know you got a homeless problem here, right? No? Okay. Are you guys not acknowledging it because it is, in fact, a problem? They're aggressive. Our homeless people aren't aggressive. Our homeless people are like picking up weed roaches on the ground and gnawing off on fentanyl in the corner, like a respectable human being, you know? You also go like on trash can meth, I think. I don't know. Figure it out. Love going to Tulsa though. You guys got a lot of cool stuff to see. You know, you guys got the big parade hands, right? Go hang out at Guthrie Greens. You got the mass graves, the center of the universe. What? Did I say something factual? That joke is a thin line. A thin red line. That's a history joke for some of y'all. So you know a place is a little rough around the edges though whenever there's a nationwide joke about it. I know y'all have heard it, you're tired of hearing it. Tulsa spelled backwards is Section 8 housing, that's correct. I think that's a little low. And then you drive through Sepulpa. And you're like, oh yeah. If that hurts some of your feelings, we have one too. It's called Del City. Stay away from that. Happy to be here. Y'all came out. Shout out to everyone who come out. You know, it means you must like to laugh, right? They do say laughter is the best medicine, and I don't think they have had Adderall. Or if you're from my generation, Oxycontin. You're a little older, maybe a little Quaalude, huh? Honestly, if you're a little older, a little cough syrup does the trick, I found out. I think what I'm really saying is check on your old people. Everybody. Fun fact, you leave one alone long enough, they will resort back to partying. We caught Grandma a while back. She was mixing up Sprite, lemon juice, honey, and whiskey. And we could stop right there and drink all day long, right? And then she would take and dump about a half a bottle of nighttime Robitussin in there. Yeah, Grandma was getting wet, and nobody knew. The whole family freaked out. I was like, what are y'all doing? She's a 99-year-old widowed woman. If she wants to make little money hot toddies, you let me make little money hot toddies. I'm just upset because I didn't know she was making them. I probably would have visited more if I'm being honest. Shit, Granny, pour me a glass. Let's put on some Blue Blood. See if I can get you hot over Tom Selleck in 10 minutes. Love doing this, man. Love coming out, pursuing the dream of stand-up comedy, right? Really out here doing it. And what is for sure an escape room next to a Tippy Toes. Surrounded by portraits of the people who died pursuing the dream of stand-up comedy. I don't know who's decorating comedy clubs, but get them the fuck out of here. The saddest decor. Now, fun fact, not a lot of comedians on this wall made it to old age. That's the dream I'm pursuing. Which, not for nothing, between the dead comedians, the floating red candles, and the parking lot that makes your tires cry whenever you turn. Somebody's probably taking a ghost home tonight, right? Which may not be too bad. A comedian ghost, right? And I feel like, honestly, Sam Kinison, obviously out, right? All night long, just screaming at you. But I feel like for the most part, they just be annoying. Like Ralphie May, if you don't know who Ralphie May is, if you look to your right, he's the only one with a whole body portrait. That seems personal. I feel like his haunting would be like you get home from grocery shopping, you get all but one thing put up, you go to put the last thing up, everything's gone. Be like a sitcom. Ralphie! Like Richard Pryor. I feel like Richard Pryor would you just be waking up every morning at 3 a.m. to keep him from freebasing cocaine and setting your house on fire. Cool, you guys know about comedy. That's cool. These jokes don't work with a younger crowd. Bernie Mac's ghost. I feel like honestly Bernie Mac's ghost would just end up raising your kids better than you thought you ever could. But I feel like the sleeper, the scariest one on this wall is Robin Williams. Now, I'm about to ruin a lot of y'all's adorable idea on Robin Williams. I guess, just imagine you're trying to get to bed, all you hear is go back to bed, you hear that was Mrs. Doubtfire coming from my closet. Okay. And you go to walk up to the closet, the doors fly open, it's Robin hanging from a belt, finishing himself off. What? You guys don't like factual jokes? This is probably a pretty good time to let y'all know I'm not what you would call a clean comedian. Nettie Bargatze isn't going to come through and take me on the road anytime soon. You know what I mean? So if it's okay with y'all. Also, this is very cool. You guys are starting to laugh like this is TikTok. You're like, next. Next. If it's okay with y'all, can we do some dark, dirty jokes a little bit? Yeah. That is consent-ish. I'll take it. I dated a girl once who would leave her used pads on top of the kitchen trash can. I know. Talk about a red flag, am I right? Said no, everybody else laughed, so we're gonna keep going. The other day I told my girlfriend I wanted her to ride my face like Paul Revere. But this time the British weren't the only people that were coming. Everybody. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. She was on her period, so it was a different kind of red coat. Everybody. You know what I mean? No, okay. You're a better person than me. I don't think y'all are ready for this one. Yeah? No. An abortion joke is kind of hard to deliver, you know? Okay, fine. We'll put that one on the hanger for later. How about that? I'm not into BDSM. I know, red-blooded American like myself, growing up, I was like, that's for me. And then I went on some dates with girls who are in fact into BDSM. And I'm good. A lot of pegging and tying knots involved. And if I wanted to spend an hour tying knots before I got fucked, I would join the Boy Scouts. Everybody. If that hurts your feelings, you can replace Boy Scouts with Navy. I like that joke because you can really tell who's anti-military, pro-kid fucking. It's a real room splitter. My ex pegged me as a bad guy whenever we started dating. No, she fucked me. Don't get weird, okay? This is always whenever dudes start to like back out of this joke, you know? Because I feel like everybody thinks we went to a sex store and she was like, here, hold my purse. Okay. That's not what happened, okay? She didn't grab something that had a lean to it, you know? We got a finger, a rubber finger. And yeah, saying it out loud, maybe a big rubber dick would have been less weird. Well, my ex was Nigerian, and she didn't tell me that her green card had expired while we were dating. So as ugly as a term as it might be to some people, make her an illegal alien. So technically, I didn't get pegged, everybody. I got probed. You guys are invited to every fucking show I ever did. I mean, holy shit. I think school shootings are inevitable because teachers tell half of the class that they're the star pupils and then tell the other half of the class to shoot for the stars. I know, it's a touchy subject. We gotta pay attention to that, all the school shooting news, because we homeschool. So, something happens at our school, that's probably on us. People say that, there's no threat of a school shooting whenever you homeschool, but I don't know. The other day we came home and there was a hit list carved into our bathroom door. And it went, Greg, Mom, Dad. And her mom came in and was like, what are we gonna do about this? And so first we're gonna figure out who the fuck Greg is, because she's 6. There's no 6-year-old Gregs. You understand? Secondly, I'm last, so deuces. You guys are hanging in tight with the rough jokes. I fucking appreciate y'all, for real. We softened up a little bit. I was hanging out with my kid. We were writing jokes together, my 10-year-old Connor, and as one does, sits down and we were writing jokes. And she came up with the premise of Chicken Batman, and came to me with that, and I was like, that's cool. Why don't you come back with actually like something I can use? And then my adorable daughter, without skipping a beat, looks up at me and goes, I'm here for 2 reasons: kicking ass and laying eggs. And a lot of eggs. Her joke got a pretty good pop. She don't like that. Fun fact, little secret, she's actually my ghostwriter. She wrote every joke you've heard tonight. So. Oh, shit. I believe in silver linings, Tulsa. You guys believe in silver linings? Those pessimistic motherfuckers. That's fine. It's fine. I think everything has a silver lining, right? Like my grandmother did pass away and somebody did get her house. That's a silver lining. The Donner Party? We're all just older, right? You guys know what the Donner Party was. I'd like to think that as bad of a situation as it was, 10 days into trapped in a cabin eating leather stew, somebody looked down and was like, honestly, I've never looked better. Getting ready for bikini season. I think everything has a silver lining, right? Does anybody here, out of the 100 people in here, think that everything has a silver lining? I gotta get the fuck out of Tulsa. Holy shit. What about the Oklahoma City bombing? Do you think we can find a silver lining in that? I'd like to think for the next few days after that, there was a little less traffic in the area. Alright, we made it to that one. What about pedophilia? You guys think there's a silver lining in pedophilia? What happens with those houses? They lose value, right? Creating affordable living. I don't know if you've seen the real estate market. It's rough out there, okay? Secondly, yes. Secondly, pedophile, probably not calling the cops on a noise complaint for your kid's birthday party. That's good, thank you. That's not nothing. Nobody wants a nosy neighbor, you know? Lastly, and thank God. Lastly, pedophiles probably going the speed limit in the school zone, right? Stopping at a school bus stop. You're late for work. You're not paying attention to Timmy. You're going to hit Timmy. You know who's not going to hit Timmy? The pedophile. All right, we got about half of you through that joke. I appreciate y'all who made it through that one. Man. This is going good. I'll be honest with y'all, just to let y'all in a little secret. I thought I might have handicapped myself. I had a Whataburger this morning. Not for breakfast. I didn't go get a chicken biscuit at 7 a.m. like a psychopath. I got a double bacon cheeseburger at 2 a.m. like a man. No. Getting Whataburger at 2 a.m. is a lot like sleeping with someone who you already got an STD from. Like it's easy, you're probably paying for it. But you know you're going to wake up with something burning the next day. It's bad food, you guys. I made the mistake of leaving the leftovers in my car all day. Oh, now we're on my side. Okay. Yeah, because you know as well as I do now, my air freshener for the next 2 weeks is regrets. So it's pretty cool. I think even the name Whataburger, right? If you're supposed to say it like Whataburger, what a crock of shit, okay? I feel like somebody did say Whataburger, but we've been taking it in the wrong tone this entire time. Like, I feel like they held a blindfolded menu tasting and handed some poor guy a hamburger and was like, try this, let us know what you think. And he tried it and he was like, go fuck yourself for making me try that. They were like, what if we told you that was a hamburger? And he was like, what? A burger? Whataburger people were like, wrap it up, we got a catchy name and a color. We don't have to worry about literally anything else. I was talking to my kid the other day about toys that I had grown up. I'm 30, she's 10, so a lot has changed in 20 years with the toys. And like, she'll never get to experience the traveling yo-yo salesman. Did you guys ever get this guy? He's a professional, is what he is. He would come to your school, he'd gather all the kids in the auditorium, and he'd put on the same exact show every single year. He'd come out with like this $5 wooden yo-yo, show you how to walk the dog, and then flick it at a poor kid, right? And then he'd be like, here's the $20 butterfly yo-yo, do some tricks, and he'd be like, all right. He had the same closer every time. He was like, since you guys have been a good crowd, just for y'all, I have a $30 butterfly yo-yo. Why is it $30, you ask? Hit the lights. And then he would do like a light up around the world, right? Y'all don't understand. Kids went crazy, teachers threw their fucking bras and everything's on the stage. It was nuts. This dude would bankrupt an entire school district with yo-yo money. All my kid has is Roblox. My kid's not gonna touch a Slinky a day in her life. Are you kidding me? You guys have Slinkies growing up? God, it's okay to admit it. That's how I knew my parents had a sense of humor, because they got me a Slinky and we had not one step on our property. Well, that's my mom. That's where I get my sense of humor from. She doesn't know it, but she's very funny. She's a hospice nurse. You guys know what that is? Yeah, she's the devil's doctor. She's the last person you see, right? And she got a bunch of merch made that says Cody Freeman, nurse for life. Real on the nose, Mom. My favorite toy growing up, though, and she won't get this, it was children's gambling. It was the Magic 8 Ball. You guys know that one? Just a literal giant 8 ball, which I think is also a Coke reference. With several chances of like yes, no's, or maybes in there, and you just shook it until you got whatever answer you wanted, right? And I remember being a kid asking it pretty normal questions, like Magic 8 Ball, is Ashley ever gonna like me? You shake it, it's like, not a chance. You're like, okay, man, Magic 8 Ball, you've been a little hard-headed tonight. I'm gonna ask you again. Is Ashley ever gonna like me? And it hits you with like a maybe, and you're like, sick, I'm talking to Ashley tomorrow. Let's do this. But then I grew up and experienced trauma, and realized that there's kids with trauma, and realized that somewhere in the world there has been a kid with a Magic 8 Ball going, Magic 8 Ball, is the cancer Willie gonna take my daddy? Ask again later. There may not be a later Magic 8 Ball. Sorry, I had to dip back into it. Very lucky to have a lady that puts up with this. I don't know if you can tell from this short interaction, but I'm not normal. I love my lady, man. I'm sure y'all have caught your significant other doing some pretty weird stuff. The other day, my girlfriend came home and caught me having a conversation with an older German man. And I was the only person in the room, everybody. That's how I knew she was the one. Because she came in and she was like, mein Führer. That's roleplay I was not prepared for. Love her, man. She's introduced me to some pretty cool stuff. She introduced me to meal prepping. Tulsa, I'll explain what that is. That is where you spend a day preparing a week's worth of food, and then you spend 2 days eating a week's worth of food. I found out I can't meal prep for the same reason I can't deal drugs. I just get high on my own supply. She introduced me to red wine. I'm a 32-year-old white kid from Cashin, Oklahoma. I was going to die with a Coors Banquet in my hand. And I came home and she had 2 bottles of red wine on the counter. I was like, are we stocking up? She was like, no, we're trying something different. And we both drank a bottle each, and that's a good time, until it's not. A wine drunk, it's a good, cozy, fuzzy drunk, and you're just the coziest little asshole on the couch, wishing somebody would by the end of it. I feel like wine naturally introduced me to The Notebook. Not an actual Notebook, the movie The Notebook. I think that's a natural progression, right? Which I feel like that movie might be building some false hope in men, because anytime I bring a lady out to the abandoned house in the woods that I own, completely different reaction. That's how you know Ryan Gosling. Is it Gosling? Yeah, it's Ryan Gosling. I get the two confused. Anyway, that's how you know Ryan Gosling might be, dare I say, too attractive, right? Because he fooled us into thinking you could just bring this absolute dime piece out into the woods and show her an abandoned, rundown shack. But if you beat your blue eyes at her, she's like, okay. I can't do that. I got bad tattoos and shit brown eyes. We're actually about to celebrate our anniversary, everybody. We've been together for 2 weeks, so it's getting serious. If you've dated in today's time, you know that it's dog years out there. We've been on Tinder. You guys use dating apps? A little bit older crowd. You guys put in an ad in the newspaper recently to find a loved one. Farmers only, Christian mingle. I would always end up on Tinder, which is pretty normal, but then I would download Plenty of Fish. You guys know about Plenty of Fish? Got some groans from people who didn't use dating apps 5 seconds ago. That's interesting. Plenty of Fish is rough. Plenty of Fish is a dating app that was a lot like bobbing for apples, but they replaced the apples with poisonous snakes and syphilis. Essentially, I have some groans in the back. If you're not on the same page yet, let's put it in fishing terms, right? Tinder would be like you're on a dock. You got your line in the water, you're waiting. Eventually, you're going to catch you a keeper. Plenty of Fish was more like noodling. You just searched and searched, only to end up with your hand in a catfish's hole at the end of the night. That's a fishing joke. You gotta squeeze one in whenever you can. Okay. You guys have been great. Before I get out of here, Tulsa, y'all like psychedelics? I made the mistake of visiting my old drug dealer the other day. They're still kicking it, and they're still trying to get you way too fucked up whenever you come by. And he made mushroom tea. I'm like, all right, I like mushroom tea. He didn't tell me until I was 4 cups in that he made 13-gram mushroom tea. That's a lot. And then what I did was I hauled ass home and I wrote down everything that happened and went through my mind after this experience. And on the back of this, it's just a sad face and it says Shia LaBeouf. So you can help me figure out what the hell that's about. That'd be great. Okay, here we go. 10 p.m. arrive at home. 10:05, phone began to breathe. That means it's working. 11 p.m., Mr. Clean is who Vin Diesel wants to be. 11:30 p.m., Vin Diesel is who Vern Troyer wanted to be. That's Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Yeah, I wrote an asterisk and I said, not so fast, not so furious. Midnight, there is no more time, only existence. 1:30 a.m., rug in the restroom reminds me of James and the Giant Peach. 1:31 a.m., trying to forget about the rhino from fucking James and the Giant Peach. Oh, I forgot I wrote this one down. 2:30 a.m., yo, fuck body dysmorphia, you're handsome, bro. 3 a.m., dicks are like burritos. You always think you want a big one, but never end up getting the whole thing down. 3:30 a.m., manifesto is not an Italian dish. 4 a.m., can little people drive motorcycles? 5 a.m., YouTube midget motocross. Yes, they can. Guys, I've been Cody Freeman. Y'all are fucking fantastic. Please give it over here to everybody.